The podcast you are about to hear contains graphic language and adult content.
Sorry, moms. Well, hey, howdy, hello. Did you miss us?
I missed us.
Oh, I missed us too.
And I missed you, dear Craig.
Craig, we missed you.
Welcome to spring. Spring has sprung, and so are we. Very wet spring.
Very wet
now.
spring. Let me just tell you.
Tell us.
I saw a post earlier today that was like, how do you enjoy living in a Seattle simulator? And I was like, wow, don't I just feel that?
Yeah, I did a lot of driving in the rain today, and, you know, I'm a pro at it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm more afraid of people here driving in the rain, I'll tell you what. But enough weather talk. What is... what? It's Aries season? It is.
Yeah.
Creed 3 is in theaters.
Wow, it's Creed season, as some might call it.
It's Creed season. I watched White Lotus. I watched all that.
Nice. You just wanted to segue into talking about White Lotus, didn't you?
I got nothing. I got nothing to say about White Lotus. I mean, I can come up with some stuff. I got things to say, but, like, is that interesting? Is that good?
No.
If you want my White Lotus review, you're going to have to sign on to my
our
Patreon exclusive.
Yeah.
For $5, I'll tell you what I think about White Lotus. And then maybe one day, I'll be as rich as one of the characters on White Lotus.
Yes, pay for Talon's next trip to a somewhat shady resort. Shady, but very wealthy.
I would like to see, like, a White Lotus spinoff about, like, not the people who are staying at a White Lotus, but people who, like, own a timeshare at a White Lotus.
Do you think they'd be better or worse?
I think worse. Because I think a lot of them would be, like, just trying to enjoy vacation and then would get roped into, like, a presentation, and they'd be like, I'm going to enjoy my vacation, but I got to sit through, like, a 3-hour presentation. And then, like, that's where the murder would happen.
Because somebody just snaps and they're like, literally anything to make this more interesting.
Or make it end. Anything to make it end. Like, I was 2 hours, 50 minutes in, and I was hungry, and I did it. I did the murder.
Oh, you think that'd stop a timeshare presenter? I think you haven't met enough timeshare presenters. I think they'd carry on. They're getting that 3 hours out of you whether you want it or not.
With their dying breaths, they're going to be like, but let me tell you about the new fitness center. Opening in 2025. You're going to like it. Oh, there's so many treadmills. They got TVs on them.
Exactly.
Yeah, I could see that.
Exactly.
I'd like that show.
I guess. Hey, what have you been doing the last 3 weeks? What have you been up to? Give me the highlights. We haven't seen each other at all.
Yeah, let's see.
You did do something fun that I know about.
Oh, that's true. You know, we did celebrate a birthday.
We celebrated a birthday of a very special woman who's pasta related.
Yeah, you might know her as the Ravioli Woman. You might know her as friend of the show. Girlfriend of the show. I think we've even referred to her as before.
Both of our girlfriends.
Yelena Afanasyev. We did a little Disney trip. We went to Disneyland.
The happiest place on earth.
We went to California Adventure.
The second happiest place on earth.
It was a good time. It's fun to be around, you know, you in a theme park setting. And
that's right.
Not like it hasn't happened before, but, you know, it's rare. We don't do that every day, you and I.
No, we're no Disney adults.
No, we're like Disney stepchildren, maybe. But
maybe. Disney, like, in-laws.
Yeah, Disney cousins.
That's one step closer than Kissin cousins, is Disney cousins.
Closer?
Yeah, because the point of kissing the point of kissing cousins is that that's your cousin that's far enough away that it's not weird if you kiss him.
I guess I haven't really thought about the phrase that much.
I think that's the etymology of it, is like, they're my cousin, but they're not like my immediate cousin. They're like my third cousin, which means it's fine for us to have sex, Jeff.
Well, it's a phrase you don't hear a lot nowadays. But yeah, okay, so I guess we're one step closer than kissing cousins. If that's how you want to bill us, sure. You can tell everyone that. We'll put that in the bio for for our TikTok.
I'm glad we got this sorted.
Me too. But that was a fun time, wasn't it?
It was just a fun time. I would like to know, and you're not allowed to explain this ranking. I'd like to make that clear. You're not allowed to explain it. I want you to rank your top 3 things you did. And that could be food you ate, rides you rode, moments of your life at the Disney theme parks. Okay. Top 3, no explanation.
Top 3 things.
Unless you're explaining the situation that you were in.
Sure. Okay. Third best thing we did on our trip to Disneyland California Adventure for the
Not
birthday
sponsored.
of one ravioli woman. Not a sponsored post. So you owe us money if that's what you want. You got to send us the money, Mr. Disney. I think on that list for sure would be, we took a great photo on the Incredicoaster.
Okay, great. Love it.
Here's the thing. I mean, I don't want to explain too
You're
much,
not,
but it's
you're not allowed to explain. I told you that I literally told you you're not allowed to explain, so move on.
But it's the context of the photo. It's the second time that we've had a photo on there where someone was about to hurl.
Okay, that's fair. That much context is fair.
That's all I'm going to say.
All right.
The second best thing is we had some great matching custom T-shirts with a certain ravioli woman's childhood photos on them.
Birth photo.
I was going to say birth photos, and that wasn't it.
Could you imagine
Not
walking around Disneyland and there's just a picture of a baby head coming out of some woman's vagina?
I think they'd kick us out.
If they could catch us.
I would hope.
If they could catch us.
Yeah, that's true. I think number one was getting to be like the loudest audience members during the parade and just getting lots of special interaction between us and the performers because we were giving them life and so they gave it back in return.
We love a little attention. Your number one memory had to do with attention because we love a little attention. And yeah, I'll say I've never seen a sluttier duck in my life than that Donald. So
yeah, eat your heart out, Daffy.
Eat your heart out. You wish you had the level. You wish you were the throat goat, but unfortunately, is Donald.
Donald was serving Duck Hunt.
He was. That was a good joke.
Yeah, I had to get it on the pod. What about you? Top 3 things for you with as much or less explanation as I gave.
I love this. Okay. Probably, okay, number 3, best memory, Elena's fierce determination to get a churro at 10 a.m. That was probably that drop brought me so much delight. That made me so happy. She was like, I'm getting a fucking churro. I don't care that it's 10 a.m. I was like, yeah, you are, girl.
It was good. It was the right choice.
It was the right choice. I'll say number 2 favorite moment is, right around like 6 p.m. on the first day, we really hit a delirious wall, and we're just sitting in Futureland, Tomorrowland.
I like Futureland.
Don't act like it's ridiculous for me to call it Futureland. Okay, it's the same idea. Yeah, we just hit a wall of like delirium and just like sat inside of Tomorrowland just laughing our asses off at the dumbest things. Truly incredible.
Always fun.
And then number 1, I'd have to say number 1 is probably Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. What our friend Marcus, who is small of stature, was just getting absolutely flung around by that ride. Was almost at one point completely horizontal, which I thought was hilarious. Due to the G-forces. So those would be my top 3.
It was such a good time. It was so many great memories. So many horrible memories, too. This isn't a sponsored post.
No. Also, such a bad time. Okay, 3 worst moments. Just kidding. I don't know. Yeah, that was it. And don't go thinking that this is a Disney podcast, because it's not. And you know what? You're going to find out, because you know what I think we should do, Talon?
What should we do?
I think we should start the podcast.
Okay. Duck Hunt. Get it, though? Do you get it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You caught my eye in the grocery line, and I fancied myself a man worth your time, and I couldn't help thinking, I wish you were mine, man-seeking woman whose total is 589.
Podcast for listener, breaking news. Donald Trump currently in a high-speed pursuit down the interstate in a white Ford Bronco. Son Donald Jr. on the line with the police. The orange juice is loose. It's time for another Craig's-existential crisis, the show where we take the missed connection section into new directions. Ooh, lost my breath a little bit there. I'm Talon Bigelow.
I'm Sarah Thompson, and I
Right at the
really
end.
enjoyed that. I really liked it.
You know, we don't edit.
We don't. We're kind of one-take wonders, as in you
Yeah, that's
wonder
what it
why
calls.
we only did one take and let
Yes,
that
that's
just be
why.
the only take that existed.
We should do more takes.
This is Craig's Central Crisis. We love to go on America's favorite list, which is Craigslist. You might not know that, but it is. And
Ain't Angie's.
What?
I said it ain't Angie's.
Oh, I thought you said
It ain't-
full Angie's. Full Angie's.
Angie's. Miss Vanjie. Okay.
Miss Vanjie. Anyway, we go on America's favorite list and go specifically to a section called the Misconnection section, which is like a free-for-all posting board where anyone can post pretty much anything. But what it's meant to be for is if you met a stranger on the street and you didn't make your move in the moment, you're regretting it later, so you post it on the internet in the hopes that that one stranger sees it and you guys can reconnect, hence misconnections. We love them. They're good. They're great. These are all written by someone else that's not us. All we do is go in there and pick out the best ones and then talk about them a little bit. One other fun aspect of this is that we read them cold.
Yeah, so that means that I have not seen Sarah's. Sarah has not seen mine. Unless there's a little intersecting happening. It happens sometimes, but, you know, we try to do our best. We really try to do our best. And
We try so hard.
I don't know why that's not enough.
We try so
I
hard.
don't know why that's not enough for you.
Please let us
We're
go.
trying.
Let us go.
Just like it. Okay, so we got some misconnections here. Who do you think? Should I start with one of yours? You want to start with
I'll
one of
start
mine?
with one of yours. I got it pulled up, so I might as well. Smoochy guy at intersection. Sitting in an intersection on Southwest Millican, you were in a black Audi. You started waving at my girlfriend and I across the intersection. You were acting like you knew us, so I waved hesitantly, and you started blowing kisses at us as you drove by. Neither of us recognized you, so we were left feeling confused, but also oddly appreciated. Just curious about what was going on there. Now, this is the kind of misconnection I feel that I would write, where I'm like, what is going on here? I'm just confused.
Yeah.
I would lay in bed thinking about this for days after also.
Just seems like there's really few ways to really interpret this situation. But let's go through a couple. You're getting blown smooches at the intersection. Okay, so one, maybe they're trying to hit on you. That's
Maybe.
one.
Maybe.
That's just one possibility.
Sure.
There are more. Two, maybe they're just trying to tell you that, like, your lipstick is in need of reapplying.
The aesthetic
that?
pull. Yes.
Yeah, you know, you can't use words because windows and highway noise, so you're just like, hey, yeah, you know.
Yeah. A universal sign. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, but if we're blowing kisses, and that implies maybe the hand motion, you know, the whoo, that. I had to do that really, you know,
Audibly.
onomatopoeically.
Oh, yeah. Wow. That was incredible. I felt like
that's
it was
the sound
in
of
your
blowing
mouth
kisses.
for that. That was wild.
That's great. This is not
We're
a bore
just-
podcast.
We're closer than kissing cousins, so it's fine.
I don't know I don't know how I feel about that.
Are you trying to cancel kissing cousins? Okay, sorry. I'll let it go.
Let it go. What's another possibility here, though? What else could this mean?
I don't know. I think it's a pretty. Also, this is something that I do that I think other people do. Is sometimes when I'm feeling really angry while I'm driving, like if somebody made a bad move while driving, like I'll try to like almost throw them off their game by doing something really nice, like giving them like a smile and a wave, or like a laugh, or like for instance blowing a kiss. I recently had a coworker of mine tell me about how they just do a thumbs down and shake their head sadly, which I thought was very funny. But yeah, so, you know, I think that could also be an option. You're just like, you know, blowing a little kiss to say, hey, you're a bad driver. Mwah, 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 mwah.
Hey, fuck you. I've definitely done that.
Yeah.
So I feel that. So not a lot of options here. I know there's a lot of confusion about what was going on, but I like the idea that this person like unknowingly cut the other person off in traffic and just doesn't know. Just like, hey, you blew kissing at me. What was that about? Well, you were bad at driving.
I'm also, just kidding. They did start waving before. Okay, never mind. I had a question, but the question has been answered by doing something called comprehensive reading, a section on which I did not score very high on the Idaho tests when I was in middle school. We did the Idaho tests. It is an acronym. I don't know what for.
Why? That's just deliberately confusing.
I think it was because I went to private Catholic school, and so we didn't have to do like standardized tests, but for some reason they still made us do them, maybe so that, when we got into high school, if we went to public high school, we could fit in and be like, I remember those. But it doesn't affect our funding because we're getting funding from the Pope. I don't know if that's how it works.
Yeah, the popes are usually very rich and very well off.
Yeah, have you been to the Vatican?
Yeah, imagine the rent at that place.
Yep, nuts.
You think a bulletproof car is cheap?
Think again. Yeah, this is. I think there's very few ways to interpret this. Maybe it was somebody. I'm always terrified that I'm going to see somebody in public that I don't actually. Well, I'm more afraid of the other way around. Is like I think I see somebody I know in public and I wave at them and send them smooches, and then it turns out to be just somebody who looks oddly like a friend of mine.
Yeah.
But this could also be that situation where this person did know each other and they just weren't recognized.
It could be. Food for thought. I'm going to take one of yours.
Think about that.
Think about that. You wanted to touch my wrists at Baby Kitten Club. We were at the bar. You asked me if I had carpal tunnel because I was holding my wrist for a second. For some reason, I laughed and said, I don't think so. And then you asked if you could feel my wrist. I said, sure. And you touched my wrist up and down for a moment. Your hands were so soft, and you were so cute. I was just leaving, and I should have talked to you more. But I am a shy one. Respond with what you were wearing.
Smooth as fuck. That is so smooth. That would get me.
Yeah. I'm just imagining what is the touching, like an up and down.
Okay, well, you're looking like, for everyone at home, Talon looked like he was jerking off his wrist.
I'm not trying to, but what is the motion that is cute about that?
No, just like, you've never had your wrist gently stroked and been like, oh, that's nice. I guess the skin on the inside of your wrist is very sensitive.
Well, not mine, because I'm always picking things up with my wrists, and they're getting real calloused. Are you shy? Are you being shy?
I
play guitar with my wrists. My wrists are so dainty. I don't know. Just look at them. I feel like my wrists are like the weakest bone in my body.
Oh, so it's you're terrified that that's like your Achilles heel and somebody's gonna go for the wrist and just snap you right in half.
Yeah, they'd be like, "Can I touch your wrist?" No, and then I would never be able to write again.
Honestly, a loss for the world. But I don't think that's what people are doing when they go for their wrists. So next time you should let somebody. I feel like I do a horrible thing where I shake people's hands and then snake my finger out and rub their wrist. And I feel like I had to have done that to you before.
Yeah, you've done a lot of stuff to me before. Let's just to be
not
fair.
In a cancelable way, everybody. Relax.
No, you're still here. You're still employed.
Somehow.
But if I wanted to write my tell-all, you'd be canceled in 10 pages.
10 whole pages.
I guess you are seeing the motion as a smooth, sensual interaction.
This was clearly to flirt with you. This is so clearly a setup for a flirt. Are you denying that?
I'm not denying it. I'm having trouble picturing.
You're doing it. You keep jacking off your own wrist, and I'm going to tell you right now. Number one, it's too furious. You're going too fast and too furious.
I have to pretend it's not my wrist. I have to pretend it's someone else's wrist.
Colin, you don't even have an excuse. You're not touch starved. You don't live alone. Why are you acting like you've never been touched in your life?
I have to ask Elena to touch my wrist in a way that is flirty and see what that is.
And you'll get butterflies. I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to get butterflies.
Blutterflies
That's cute.
is fun, though.
Blutterflies. I'll say I did once have somebody make a move on me by going, I can crack other people's fingers. And I said, I can't crack my own fingers. And then they cracked my thumb, and it did feel good for a minute, but then it like fucked my thumb up for like a week afterwards.
That's like
and
a
I didn't
bad
have the
thumb
heart to tell
chiropractor.
them. Yeah, it was not fun, that part. It was cute that they wanted to touch me. I thought that was nice and smooth, but the part where it seriously injured me was not as cute.
So risky. And, even if that was cute, even if that was a cute, sensual moment, I think the opening line of, hey, do you have carpal tunnel is kind of less than flirty. It kind of goes in the other direction for me.
Talon, that would 100% work on me as the saddest part. Because I would think that's a hilarious line. I would think that's incredibly funny.
Sorry to bother you. I just saw you across the bar. Do you have carpal tunnel?
and then you can be like, do you have any other tunnels I should know about or explore? I just made you lose all will to live with that line. That made me happy. Come on, that was smooth as fuck. What are you talking about? I'm so good at flirting.
Would it work on me? Only if it was paired with that pun. Only if it came back around. The carpal tunnel line alone, no. But if they came back around and said, you got any other tunnels? I would think that was funny. I'd like that.
Okay, there you go. Maybe they were just leading up to that and then this person left. Also, I would like to say, for anyone who's not from Portland, Baby Ketten Club is a karaoke night where they like specifically ask you to do karaoke songs that like are not classic karaoke songs. Like they don't like they pride themselves on having like a karaoke catalog that's like underground or unknown stuff. And on that, Talon I just want to know, what is one song that you think is kind of like a sleeper hit that you would do at a karaoke club?
That's a good question. Because I definitely have a list of karaoke songs I wish were included at karaoke bars, but aren't. Okay. A lot of them are Weird Al songs.
Yeah, shocking no one.
But here's something that might shock you. None of them are Blue Man Group songs.
How would you even do a Blue Man Group song at karaoke?
Just like physical karaoke, just like drum solos.
Oh, like on Rock Band when you could tap the microphone on the beat during all the solos.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I was really good at that. Okay, sorry. What's your answer?
So my answer, there's, gosh, it's tricky, but I think it's hard not to say Weird Al song, because here's the thing. If there are Weird Al songs, or maybe like a They Might Be Giants song, most of the time there's like 3 or 4 of those. And I'd like a deep cut.
Only 3
I'd
or 4
like to go with
Weird Al songs.
Only 3 or 4. Well, when They Might Be Giants has like an album every month, so it's like there's a lot. There's a lot to choose from. I'd love to sing some Dr. Worm at karaoke. I'd love to go through the Weird Al catalog and sing, Close But No Cigar is a good one. That's an original in the style of Cake. Hey, do you remember when we were playing that trivia game over here, and the trivia category was Weird Al songs on a random option? I got Weird Al trivia, and that was so mad.
That really made me incredibly upset. But then, you know what justified it is that you then lost because me and Elena killed with LGBTQ icons immediately after that.
You are gayer than I am nerdy.
Oh my God, that's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. I do feel, I have a mullet now for all of our listeners at home, and I do have to say, I feel more, not that there's any way to look queer, but I will say, I do feel gayer than I've ever felt in my life now that I have a mullet. It's very nice.
I think that's about your own personal self-expression of yourself. So, yeah, there you go.
Sorry,
it might not look gay on everyone. But on you, it looks super gay.
I feel like you could feel the ghost of Hillary Duff hovering over you, being like, you can't call people gay, Talon. During that sentence.
It's random, but I saw Hillary Duff was also recently at Disneyland, and I was just thinking about, like, what would I do? What would I do if I saw Hillary Duff in person? I think I'd be a little starstruck. I think I'd be like, you're Lizzie McGuire.
She's kind of a formative star. Like, I feel like, she was up there and early before I realized celebrities were people. It's like before you realize your parents are people,
Way before that.
Way before. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and move on to a new one.
Well, wait. Before you move on, do you have a deep cut karaoke song?
Oh my God.
Choose for yourself?
You know, I feel like I'm kind of stealing this, so I'm gonna say it's not necessarily original because I talked about it with Elena this weekend. I think I would want to do "Money Can't Buy You Class" by Countess Luan.
Countess Luan.
Whatever.
Well, you gotta put some respect on the Countess's name.
I'm sorry. I would do. Yes.
You did call her Countess, so that's
I do
good.
know that much. I'm not that disrespectful, but yeah, that's
I'd
what
like
I
to
would
see
do.
you do it.
Thank you.
And,
I think I could honestly. I think I could fucking pop my pussy to that song. I think it could go.
If she can, anyone can.
Well, right. Well, that's rude. Okay, I've got another misconnection for us here.
Alrighty.
Tall brunette with bookie. I want to say bussy, and I know it's not correct. I think it's Bucky's. Okay, let me try that again.
Yeah. Sorry, you just reminded me that my top 0 spot moment of our Disney trip was when I absolutely heard a toy army man say "Tussie" twice. He made a Tussie joke at California Adventure at Pixar Pier. I know what I heard. Okay, you may continue.
The Disney conspiracists are going to go ham with that one. Okay. Tall brunette with Bucky's shirt. Flight attendant. Don't think I'll be mistaken for another chick in a Bucky's shirt. But you were so friendly, handsome, and personable. Thought we had a little connection. Wanted to slip you my number, but chickened out with my folks there. Not every day you see a jacked, tall king on a plane. Let's meet up next time you're here. They're right. It's not every day you see a jacked, tall king on a plane. And I would like to say, my, haven't the times changed? This is a feminism win. Since when, did we think back in the 1960s that we would have ladies hitting on male flight attendants? The founding fathers would be shaken in their leather knee highs.
Which is pretty sexy.
It's pretty sexy, and they wore wigs. I'm just saying, the founding fathers were doing drag.
Yeah. They were putting
not well
founding fussies into it.
They were not well. They weren't doing it well.
No,
but they were
doing it.
They were trying, and also bad people. Anyway, to make it clear on where we stand on the founding fathers.
But you're right. Again, sometimes I think equality is maybe no one gets hit on. At their job.
You're wrong.
But other times it is women being able to catcall men, and I think this is acceptable. This is fine.
I'm kidding. I don't think anyone should be hit on at work. We've said it once. We've said it again. Especially not when you're wearing a Bussies shirt. And I will say the internet has rotted my brain so much that I could not help but read that as Bussies.
Yeah.
Also, I'm not from the Midwest, so I never grew up with Bucky's.
Is it spelled like this normally? Buccee?
I think there's either one too many C's or one too many E's in this one. I know there's a double C or a double E.
All right.
And I know that the mascot's a little overly chipper beaver.
Well,
Bussy beaver doesn't make it any better. Bever. Sorry, it sounded like you were trying to say that through an entire gulp of 7-Up. Better.
Now I'm never going to read Buca de Beppo the same way again.
Busa de Beppo.
It works. It's good. I want to go.
That's incredible. Yeah, you hearing Tussie at Disneyland changed you. Now you're seeing bussies everywhere.
I've now seen the Tussie Matrix with my own eyes. I am changed. I am the one.
You've been reducy pilled. Red pill city.
Yeah, I've awakened. I'm woke now.
You're woke, but not in the way that people think.
Let's give it up for the jacked tall king on this plane. I'd be okay with that. If I saw my flight attendant and they were jacked and tall, I'd be like, hey, we're gonna be safe. This is gonna be a safe flight.
Because of hijackers? Are you saying no hijackers are gonna get past this jacked?
Or not even sure there's that, but also plane problems can occur without someone trying to take over the plane. And if there's turbulence, I don't know, I'm gonna be safe. I know I can just crawl into the arms of my jacked tall king and say,
Aw.
I'm a little scared. I'm a little scared of the bumps. And he'll go, hey, don't worry, baby. I got you.
That was an incredible impression of a jacked tall king.
Hey, just coming by. Does anyone want a beverage?
Oh my God.
Would you like a coffee?
Talon.
Would you like an orange juice? Would you like a ginger ale? Oh, you'd like some beer? Let me see what I got.
This is
It's
doing
Coors
things to
Light.
my Bussy de Beppo right now.
Well, you're welcome. You're welcome, all of you out there.
Yeah.
Close your eyes and picture a jacked tall king coming through the aisle with his little rolling cart of beverages and single serving snacks.
Just go there. Well, okay, here, I have a proposal for you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this, but audio erotica has really taken off.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I don't know how involved you are in the erotica circles of the internet. Sometimes against my will. I was never an avid fan fiction reader, but for some reason I've always been, I've always been like...
You don't have to lie.
No, and I'm not lying. I wish I was. I wish I had been into fan fiction. I never even wrote it, which seems insane.
That does seem... I feel like it'd be good.
Thanks. Thank you. Stop. But anyways, I feel like most, fan fiction readers and writers have now grown up into like millennial women with a lot of horny and nowhere to go, and are now channeling that into audio erotica, which is like really coming out as like there's like a bunch of subscription services that get advertised to me all the time.
That seems
and
like
we're not
easy work and easy money.
You'd think, and that's kind of why I'm saying this to you. I think you should do it, and you should do a flight attendant one.
Well, we keep coming up with reasons to start a Patreon, and I feel like that would absolutely be on there. If you
good as any,
if you pledge $5 to our Craig's Essential Crisis Patreon at the $10 tier a month, you will get access to exclusive audio erotica featuring yours truly.
That's nice.
As a jack tall king on a plane, as
passing out little snacks,
pretzels.
And I'll make like the little crinkling sounds in the background, like of people like opening their peanuts and stuff.
Yeah, just be, oh, these pretzels are good.
These are pretzels. Do you see that jack tall king? They look really, really good.
Excuse me, would you like a shortbread cookie with a little jam in it?
You could jam. Okay, I'm gonna.
All right, save it for the Patreon. But there's something good here. There's potential.
Yeah, that's really great. Hey, I have more misconnections for you.
I would love to read one. Here we go. Tyron Creek. Tyron Creek? No. Tyron Creek, St. Patrick's Day. Love. I was smoking an herbal cig on the bike path at Tyron Creek, and you blissfully emerged out of the trees. You complimented my hair, and I told you I just cut it. You told me, Happy St. Patrick's Day. And I said, don't get pinched, because you weren't wearing green. And you said, hey, you're not wearing it either. And I giggled, but was sad you were walking away so fast. I instantly wished I got your number. You were beautiful, and I loved our brief convo. I hope we see each other again.
Oh, a little Shakespearean twist there on the last word.
I don't know if you know this, but I studied theater.
Again. Yeah, I think it is Tryon Creek, just for all of the park stands who are going to come for our throats.
I just read it absolutely wrong.
You did, but
I like Tyrone Creek.
You get to have what you want.
Tyrone Creek.
And you know what? The guy who named it was probably a weird
high on herbal cigs
colonizer guy. Oh, or that.
That one or the other.
So you get to call it whatever you want.
Yeah. I like that they emerged out of the trees.
I like that too.
It gives me real Edward vibes. I know they just like walked off a path, but I like the idea that there were a bunch of trees and they just kind of came out of them. Emerged. Birthed by the trees.
Very quirky entrance. Very, very rom-com entrance.
Yeah. Every rom-com that starts with Harry meeting Sally, and Sally, emerges out of the trees.
Yeah, the classic tale of love. The person sitting on the bench, smoking the herbal cigarette, and then the person who emerges from the trees. Which one are you in your relationship? Are you the guy smoking the herbal cigarette, or the person who emerges from the trees? Would you say?
Yeah, tag yourself. I guess I'm smoking the herbal cig.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like that's like. Is it's a slightly healthier version of maybe an unhealthy choice. So it's like it says a lot about maybe I had some dark and powerful urges back in the day, but I've tempered them in my own fashion by not fully giving them away, but taking the lighter approach. It's like a character who exclusively drinks Diet Coke or doesn't.
Oh, they
doesn't
hate themselves.
That's it. They hate themselves.
Yeah,
So I hate
gotten to
myself.
the
Is
point
why
a
I
lot
tag
faster.
myself as that.
Not allowed.
Yep.
Come over here. I'll give you a gentle touch on the wrist and bring you back to life.
Oh.
Yeah, I just thought this was a fun one. Maybe a little too manic pixie dream girl for me, but we'll take it. We'll take what we can get. Who's to say who's the pixie dream girl? Which one it is? I don't know.
Which one? It could be either. Do we feel like the green on St. Patrick's Day thing? I mean, is that like? That's not culturally significant, to the Irish, right? They don't. Do they give a shit?
I don't know about the Irish. I don't know if I'm Irish or not. I've never taken an Ancestry.com test, so I don't really know what's going on.
Well,
in here,
maybe you should. Maybe you got a little look of the Irish in you. And now I'm doing an accent. I shouldn't do it.
Is that appropriate? We just don't know.
I feel like if you're white, it's not offensive to act like you're like if you were making doing white accents or accents that are now classified as white people's. I think it's fine.
Oh, so like an Italian. Like I could get away with doing an Italian accent.
Absolutely. That's why Mario should sound like Mario and not like Chris Pratt. Folks, here's not to really get in this too big of a side. I don't care. I think Mario's going to sound weird when he says more than 10 words no matter who it is. But it is weird that we have to make Mario Italian enough to make Let's-a Go work, but not, that Italian all the time.
And they could have cured
most of the time he's just going to sound
They could have just hired an Italian. I feel like that would have solved a lot of their problems.
It would have solved a lot of problems. Stanley Tucci would have been a great Mario.
Oh my god. I was thinking somebody more like who has an Italian accent, but I'm all for Stanley Tucci.
Somebody who really puts the A's in between every word.
Yeah. Also, Stanley Tussie is how you could also just say.
Stanley Tussie.
Stanley Tussie. It comes
Stanley
back around.
Tussie. Stanley Tussie works. Stanley Tussie. I like Stanley Tussie.
I haven't.
I think we all do.
Oh my god, I would love to be the owner of a Stanley Tussie. Anyways, I've got another misconnection from you here.
Let's-a go.
Cute firefighter at the Round in Beaverton. You were responding to a call this evening at Patricia Reiser Center for the Arts, wearing a puffy jacket and a mask. I was driving as you were crossing the street and waved you across, and I thought you looked really handsome. I know this is a shot in the dark, but I would love to grab a drink if you thought I was cute too. Shoot me an email with details about my car so I know it's you. Might have to call something in if I don't hear from you. And then it's that face that's like, ugh, with like the teeth that are square.
The face I made, I think, when I read the last line.
Yeah, agree. Honestly, the face I made kind of reading all of this, and not to, again, the point of the podcast is not to make fun of the people who write these, just to gently offer some advice. Mm-hmm. And I would just say, I feel like this person was probably focused on other things than how cute the person stopping for them at a crosswalk was. They were responding to an emergency, and maybe didn't catch a glimpse of you.
Maybe I would hope that the fighters fighting my fires are not actively prowling for Tussie. I think they should be focused on that fire-ussy.
I'm glad you're saying all of this like this. Yes.
I'm changed.
You're a changed ussy man.
Just also don't threaten to call in a fake fire. I know it's funny, haha, but I don't know. They get pretty mad about that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they can fine you for that. I think they can charge you for that.
You're not even allowed to say fire in a crowded room. You can't say anything nowadays.
Nowadays, you're going to get canceled if you scream fire in a crowded room. Embarrassing.
Boy. Yeah. There are probably better ways to get in touch with a firefighter? First of all, do they put the numbers on the calendars? Maybe that's something they should do.
Maybe that's a good thing. Or here's the thing. You know where the firefighter lives? They live at the fire station. Swing on by.
Yeah. That, know what firefighters love? Chili. I bet if you showed up at a fire station with a big bucket of chili, I don't know why it was a bucket, but a bucket of chili, then, a great way. I bet they would shake your hand. I bet they'd love to say hi and get to know you. I would be thrilled if someone came to my place of work and brought us chili. Then again, would I trust the chili? I'm thinking a lot of things in the moment here. I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't so much eat the chili, but I would say thanks to the person who brought it in.
You can hide a lot in a bowl of chili.
Okay.
A chili's a pretty forgiving food to hide things in.
What are you trying to hide?
I'm just saying, be careful. That's all.
Well, I'm not gonna You think it could be a bomb in the chili?
No. I mean, I don't know, a poopy. Poopy in a chili.
Here's the thing. Most people like firefighters. Yeah. I can understand if it was a police station you were bringing a bucket of chili to.
Yes,
Those cops should not trust the chili.
No.
But firefighters, I mean...
Do we have beef
unless,
I don't know.
I don't know. Most of the time, no. You know what? I think... What would the Blue Live equivalent of a firefighter be?
No, don't say it. Talon.
I don't know. I'm asking.
Do not say it.
I'm not. I just think firefighters' lives might matter a little bit more than blue lives. That's all I'm saying.
That's all. That's all I'm saying.
If there's there's an order I'd like us to follow. Anyway, I don't think anyone should be trying to harm firefighters. If you are, I feel like maybe you're trying to hide something. Maybe they stopped a fire you didn't want stopped, and maybe you should be investigated.
This quickly turned into an episode of CSI. And before we get too deep, I got another misconnection for you. This one's long, so just wet your mouth a little bit before you get into it.
Okay. If you don't like ASMR noises, just fast forward for 10 seconds.
Okay. Wow, you really took me seriously.
Well, you told me. You warned me.
I
always take you seriously.
That's not true.
Okay. Cashier Kimmy at 7-Eleven near Peace Health. I had just gotten off work and I walked in to get a big gulp. You greeted me with a great smile and attitude as you said hello and asked me how my day was. I said, I had just got off work and it was my Friday. And you said that it was yours too. On my way over to the beverage dispenser, you walked up to me and we high-fived each other. You told me that you got off at 11 p.m. and you're on the downhill slide with only around 4 hours left in your shift. We kind of flirted with each other as we talked about Taco Bell, and as a chef, I told you how they added fillers to their beef. They added fillers to their beef to make it bigger without adding more of the protein. I told you that I preferred macho gracias, and especially their breakfast burritos, and said how big they were as I demonstrated with my hand. You told me that you couldn't get your mouth around it, and I told you to improvise and think it had extra sour cream coming out of the top, and kind of laughed. I kept trying to check out all your awesome tattoos, but I didn't want to be unpolite by sneering. If you see this, hit me up and tell me what I was wearing, or stood out about me. I'll stop at your store more often now for my soda on my way home from work, that's for sure. Chef. Not only was it long, but... It wasn't quite correct most of the time.
Yeah, this not to roast this person. They either wrote this with incredible autocorrect on, or they have something going on where they just swap out words for other things that sound like that word. Because they call muchas gracias, I'm assuming, which is a very popular burrito chain, into macho gracious, which I do.
Macho gracious.
That's
good.
The gringo version of muchas gracias is macho gracious.
Oh no, I don't. I'm not gonna say that, but
I'm gonna.
I think other people should adopt saying macho gracious.
So good.
If it is muchas gracias, I will say that is a place where Elena and I had dinner once, and she ordered a chicken burrito and got chicken wrapped in a tortilla, and that was it.
Yeah, I do have to say, with muchas gracias, you do have to be careful. It is like a fast food burrito chain.
Yeah.
There are mines in there that you gotta dodge. You gotta dodge the mines. But stellar breakfast burrito.
Okay.
If you order it correctly. But I would totally believe that happened to her at muchas gracias. Or is this, as the whites call it, macho gracious.
Macho gracious. So good.
Okay. Are we gonna
go ahead.
Let's get into the sexual harassment occurring here.
Let's do it.
Let's get right into it. Buddy.
Just very valid.
Absolutely
very fast.
not. Absolutely not. You don't need to talk about sour cream coming out the top. Talking about fitting it in your mouth. Yeah. Can't a bitch eat a burrito without being sexualized anymore? Jesus Christ.
Whenever someone says, and I think we've heard it often, you can't get your mouth around it. And we're talking about food. Every person saying that immediately regrets it. You don't have to.
You don't have to point it out. You don't have to go down the pipeline.
Be the bigger person, and don't make that an entendre. Just
let it be.
Just let it be.
Just let it
We're
sit.
talking about food. Yeah. Didn't care for that, but kind of laughed.
A little bit. I don't know that I laughed, but as I was reading, I went, "Oh," and my eyes got really big, and I said, "Hidden in this seemingly very innocuous misconnection post, there is a bit of a tripwire."
A little bit. I also like that they met them at the beverage dispenser and high-fived, just like immediately, like that's where it started, with a high five. You don't start a lot of things with high fives.
No, and I don't think that a lot of sexually charged interactions start with a high five.
But maybe not.
Maybe I'm missing out on something real hot.
You'd be surprised. There's so much going on in here. I like that they were talking about Taco Bell, and he had to chime in as a chef.
Yeah, get out of here. What do you mean? Get out of here.
Oh,
what are you?
You're familiar with McDonald's?
You a sandwich artist?
Yeah,
get the fuck
as
out
a
of here.
Sandwich artist. Let me tell you a little secret about Mickey D's. Taco Bell, all these fast food chains. We know they're not doing it like a hundo legit. That's fine. We don't go to Taco Bell because we're craving authentic Mexican cuisine.
No. And also, you don't have to have the prerequisite of a chef to tell me about Taco Bell.
That's true.
I can tell you all about Taco Bell. I ain't a chef.
I ain't a chef. I just follow some very seedy behind-the-scenes McDonald's TikToks, so I know a lot of secrets.
Don't let Ronald take you out. That's all I can say.
Well, just be careful out there, TikTokers. If you're going to be posting the clown secrets, just be careful. The grimace might get you.
I got another one from you here.
Take it away.
Costco. You drew a smiley face on my receipt, but seem to have forgotten to write down your phone number. Sad face. Hit me up? Simple. Clean. Easy. I don't. They do that to. I hate to burst this person's bubble because I think they had something, and I don't know how to say this delicately, so I'm just gonna say it straightforward. They do that for everyone, man.
They do that for everyone.
Sometimes they even draw hearts. Sometimes they draw stars.
Yeah. Honestly, if you're shopping as an adult and you have a child with you and you give the child the receipt, they'll doodle more. It is not a come on. That would be gross. It is just a thing they do to make people happy.
Yeah, they're just trying to brighten up your day. Instead of putting a check mark or a slash, they're trying to do a little pictogram. I will say, when I was a little kid and I used to go to Costco with my dad, I really wanted that job of being the person who stood at the entrance with the receipt and drew on it with a highlighter. Yeah. And actually, in fact, one time, this is a moment where I felt really embarrassed as a child, and it stuck with me for a long time. Oh. One time I was at the grocery store and we were checking out, and I was always really fascinated by the baggers and stuff, and would just watch them and be like, God, yeah. But I was a little kid, and so one time I was like, I want to do that someday, and I said it to the bagger, and the bagger just laughed in my face, and then the bagger, the cashier, and my mom, and then the bagger repeated it to the cashier, and then the bagger, the cashier, and my mom all laughed at me. And I just remember feeling very embarrassed and confused as to why everyone thought that was so goofy, and then and that's the day I learned to never share my dreams with anybody.
Well, they were very kind, I guess, not to crush them. Be like, kid, you don't want this. This is not the life I wanted.
I guess so. But it just does really feel like it was the root of all of my psychological problems today. So I'll dissect that in therapy sometime.
It does feel like a Family Circus cartoon or something.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I'm going to read a second one from you because that felt real short. So I want more.
Please.
Donut fate. Dear fellow donut enthusiast, I sincerely hope you enjoyed the box of dough donuts you happened upon this morning on North Prescott. I accidentally had my donuts delivered to my friend's apartment building, who is currently out of town, so the lonely donut box sat outside on the ground until you came along. I am happy to know that someone out there could not resist the sweet temptation and dug into the half-dozen perfectly fluffy, sugary, round, heavenly treats. I had a friend in the neighborhood drop by to see if the donuts were still there for the taking, and alas, you had already swooped them. I hope this donut happenstance has brightened your morning on this gloomy Sunday. Heart. This reads like somebody really trying to convince themselves they're not annoyed they don't have their donuts.
Yeah, I'd be pissed. This person definitely handled it way better than I would have. I'd be irate if I ordered a whole box of donuts and didn't get them. That would be the worst. That'd be the worst.
So aggravated. And dough donuts ain't cheap. We're going to say it here, say it now. They're like fancy vegan donuts, and they ain't cheap. As 6 donuts from them probably ran you over $20, maybe even over $30.
How often do you order yourself a box of donuts? Not often enough. Not often enough that if you miss out, it's going to be like, oh, well, okay, that's fine. No, I would be going door to door. Like,
show me your hands.
Sorry, did you get it? Was there a box of donuts? I ordered a box of donuts. Did you happen to see a box of donuts? Did it get delivered here? Do you mind if I look around?
Show me your sticky little hands. Show me your sticky, grubby little hands. Is that jam? Is that jam on your hands?
Breathe in my face.
In my mouth. Put that in my mouth.
Breathe right in my face so I can smell it. I just want to smell if you had a donut or not. I can smell them. Yeah, no, I think this person might actually be plotting homicide as they wrote this. Yeah. I think I wrote it or read it initially thinking they're handling it well, but you know what? I don't think so at all. I think they're on the verge of a Michael Douglas style just falling apart, falling down type of event.
A real psychological break.
Yeah, just that would be it. This would be my. I was gonna say this would be my 13th reason, but that's a different kind of.
That's a different kind of violent rage or violence.
Well, this would be my falling down catalyst for sure. Don't like it. Don't take donuts that aren't yours.
Don't take donuts that aren't yours. I've got another one for you. Let's get our minds off that because that was upsetting. This one I think is really going to take you away.
Baby, you're the barnacle to my boat. Work sucks. Wanting to light up all day. Only thing I want more is to light up that pussy. If you're reading this, reply with your favorite wing sauce from where. Drums or flats? I'll be salivating, waiting.
Well, it did take from enough of those donuts, that's for sure.
It did. First of all, the unintentional rhyme kind of felt like a Lin-Manuel Miranda verse.
Wait, which part?
The ending. I'll be salivating, waiting. You know, I can't get into the rest of it right now. But
you know I love your Lin-Manuel impression.
It gets better with time. The other part of this, obviously, let's talk about the pussy in the room.
What does lighting up that pussy mean? That makes me nervous.
Light up that pussy.
You gonna smoke it? Don't do that.
I don't like it. I think sometimes people think they're little wordsmiths and they're like, this will be something arousing if I type this combination of words together. This combination of words has never been said in any book, any posting. I don't like it. I think if you Googled, in quotes, light up that pussy, I think you turn up a 0. Google would be like, no, this doesn't exist. Not a thing.
I wouldn't go. Don't test that, folks.
I'm not gonna, but someone should and let us know.
Don't listen to him. He's like the devil in your shoulder. You don't need to do that.
I'm not suggesting you do it. I'm just saying if you happen to do it, let us know what happens.
Hey, quick question, Talon.
Yeah.
What's your favorite wing sauce?
I love an Asian inspired flavor.
Spicy or sweet?
Ooh.
Spicy and sweet.
Spicy and sweet. I like a sweet and spicy. I'm a multi-hyphenate myself. I am a connoisseur of sweet and savory foods. variety is the spice of life. I can't commit one way or the other. You gotta have them all. You gotta.
Okay, drums or flats?
Well, I will say ooh, that's tough though.
Oh my God. Gemini.
Tough.
He's a Gemini. Not only is he a multi-hyphenate, he is also a Gemini.
I'm also a Gemini. If I had to choose, I'd probably go drums because I just like a big.
You like feeling like a
bite.
caveman? Sometimes it's
Yeah.
nice to feel like a caveman, I will say. And I don't feel as much like as a caveman with flats. I feel like a real caveman with a drum. Like I feel connected to my ancestors when I like bite into that meaty little ball at the end.
Yeah, I love a drumstick. You can do a lot with a drumstick. You can do drumstick lollipop in that situation sometimes. I prefer just a fried drum. But flats, a little bit more work, a little bit more effort to get the meat off there.
I'd say I prefer flats.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow,
that made you go into slow motion for a second. You were so.
What are you talking about? Yeah, well, God, now I just want wings.
And not that you asked, but garlic.
Garlic.
I like a garlic sauce.
You like it on the spicy side or more on the?
I like it more on
less
the
heat?
less spicy side because I like to taste things.
Man, not a plug, but we've been coasting off of a bottle of the Last Dab hot sauce for a while. Well, I should say Elena has. She will literally put it in every breakfast,
Incredible.
every day. It's kind of amazing. And if it's like a real stinker of a day, she'll put a little extra on there.
Aww,
and
burn away the pain.
And you know what? I get it. I do. I think I'm finally getting to the point where if I have a hot enough sauce, I will kind of experience that, like that
Euphoria.
high, that euphoria.
I'm glad
that is so often talked about.
I'm glad you've gotten there.
I've gotten there. Yeah, I've gotten past the panic, the absolute panic that used to take over when I had something too spicy.
Life or death, fight or flight situation that happens.
Yeah, not good.
That's fair.
Yeah, I need to re-up. If someone wants to, if Heatonist wants to sponsor us and send us a bottle of hot sauce,
we wouldn't say no.
I wouldn't say no.
I would eat it for the giggles, probably, because it's not hot enough, so hot that it would like make me vomit. I would just be like unpleasant for a while.
Should we do a recording or where we ingest some hot sauce
Unless I'm
and
getting
see
paid
carry
for
on?
it, I will not do that.
How much do you need? I'll pay you.
I need at least a hundo, a cool hundo.
Okay, I'll start saving.
My rates are too steep.
How am I getting only $10 for audio erotica, but you're doing a whole $100 just to eat some hot sauce?
Because
that seems
that will physically destroy me. I don't know if you know how weak I am. It will make me so sad. I already have such sensitive tummy times.
Yeah, okay. Well, if I get $100, you'll do it though, right?
No. You know what I will do though? Light up that pussy. Okay.
Light up.
I want to move on from this because we have a couple more to get through.
Yeah. Let's do it.
But I do want to say one last thing is that I do not understand how the end of this connects to the rest of it. And
oh no, it's wild.
I'm so confused. Like, do they work at a wing place? That's the only connection I could think of.
It really reads like they were trying, like someone in real life in a in-person scenario, trying to be really smooth and like sexual, and then immediately regretting it and being like, "I should talk about something else. I should not. I should get rid of this dead air. Clear that sage. It's gone. We're talking about wings now. It's not weird."
Wow, it's almost like you said exactly the way I approach sensual situations.
I'm sure every time I've said the word pussy out loud, I've immediately tried to talk about anything else. It's only in the context of this podcast. Even then, it's hard to let it linger. You got to be real confident to.
Yeah, it's a word that really echoes. It really echoes around a room, you know.
Yeah. You got to stick that landing with confidence, and that's all it takes. Let me ask you this: if you just read this misconnection, if this was to you.
Yeah.
And they didn't have that last line on it.
Yeah.
Would you be down?
No, I would be scared because I don't know what lighting up that pussy means.
That's fair.
I feel like that phrase needs to be added to the list of things like don't do that to a pussy. Like don't light it up. Don't beat it up. That's another one that's popular that I don't feel great about.
Yeah. These pussies are delicate and they should be handled as such.
Well, I wouldn't say that much. Anyway, let's move on. I don't think my parents listen to this anymore. I think we've finally gotten to the point where my parents don't listen, so I think I could say whatever I want.
I bet they listen to the first half hour and then tune out. So I'm sure we're fine now.
We're in the dark zone. we're flying through enemy territory with our lights on.
In the pussy game now.
All right. I've got another misconnection from you.
Please, please, please.
Still trying to interpret the mystery. As the cycle repeats, you creep into my mind again, knowing you're not what I want, but what I desire. An untapped well. Well, it doesn't help that I feel hornier than maybe I ever have. I think I'll see you soon, and I'm already preparing myself. I'm not really proud of that, but that's showbiz, baby. Jazz hands. Sorry, I really lost it on that one. Wow, speaking of messages you don't want to get when you're in the mood. My God.
Jazz hands are pretty sexy. I don't know you're...
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
You wouldn't
Get
like
those jazz hands away from me. Get those jazz hands.
Razzle dazzle.
Honestly, I'd rather you jerk off your wrist than do that.
Well, if I had a nickel. Yeah, man. It's written in verse.
Yeah, which is, and you know they really thought they did something with an untapped well. Well, it doesn't help. That's great. I also, I started cracking up on the, it doesn't help that I feel hornier than maybe I ever have. That's great.
Yeah, it's good. If we're trying to interpret this mystery at all, it sounds like past flame, you know. Maybe
they're meeting up again. Maybe they're meeting up again.
They've crossed paths.
You know,
and this person is hornier than they have ever been.
And I get it. I get it. I've been in one of those Tinder sitches where you only see each other like once every 3 weeks, and by the time you get to the business, you're like, God damn, I've been bottling this up for a while. But it doesn't make me do jazz hands. I'll say that much.
That's showbiz, baby.
That's showbiz, baby.
It's, you know... I keep reading it over, and it's good. It's good. It really is just... Horniness will make you do silly things, including jazz hands.
Including jazz hands. Talon, I've got like 2 more for you. So if you want to read these next 2, you don't have to read them directly in a row, but you know, the next 2 are yours, is all I'm going to say.
You walk by my work almost daily. I, femme, work at a business that has a lot of big windows in Southeast Brooklyn neighborhood, and you, dude, seem to pass by like 2 to 4 times a week. Unlike most curious passers-by, you never look in the window and seem to be beelining it to the convenience store for an energy drink. For a while, I thought you were a little scary because, minus your usually super clean fits, the face tattoo, and the disheveled other aspects of your appearance gives a sort of creepy downtown PDX lurker vibe. I don't know why I'm intrigued, or if dating in Portland has just put the bar on the floor. Perhaps I'm just horny. I saw you pick your sweatpants wedgie once, and I'm still sold that underneath all the layers, you could have what I'm looking for. Or maybe you're just homeless and hot. Why not both?
Why not both? And also, you know, they really had me going into that last line, and I'm like, why do we gotta wonder on this person's housing situation?
Yeah, you know, irrelevant. If they're hot, they're hot.
Exactly. Come on, you saw them pick their sweatpants wedgie.
And you were still into it. You were still down.
Also,
you were still
great to hear that all of my deepest, darkest fears have happened to other people and could happen to me.
Being seen through a window you weren't expecting to be seen through.
While I'm picking a wedgie very specifically, yes.
Yeah.
Terrified.
I think for me, it's zipping up my fly. Same situation, but I have a pair of pants right now that are just, I think, maybe a little too tight. I'm not sure what it is, but more often than not, I look down and the fly is down. And I'm like, God. I know I zipped this up. I know I zipped this up. And I have to do the quick look around and just like, and it's like, God, if someone were to see that, I'd just die on the spot.
Yeah. Next time I see you doing it, I'll be like, look, everyone, Todd's playing with his dick.
No! See, that's exactly the nightmare. Please don't.
No, I would never. I would never.
Yeah. First of all, just be careful. Just be careful around a window. Even you might just see a reflection. There's probably something on the other side.
There's probably a person apparently very bored at work staring outside at you.
I used to work in a building with some big windows, and But you know what? It was frosted. It was tinted glass, but it was frosted on the other side. So, I couldn't even see that. I couldn't even see you pick a sweatpants wedgie if I wanted to. So.
Thank you for that fascinating.
I'm just saying, but if I could, I would obviously be looking through the window all the time. If I could.
Yeah, if you could, you
They're
would.
lucky.
And that's
They're lucky
it.
I couldn't.
There is like a deep pleasure in watching somebody who doesn't know they're being watched. I will say I do. There's like almost like a safety in it of like, ooh, no one can see me, but I can see others. I think it's like lizard brain being like, I'm safe.
Yeah.
And I get to watch wedgies. Okay, sorry. Anyways.
On the outside, always looking in.
Oh my God, that was beautiful. I thought you were going to sing the Clay Aiken song. That's your favorite Clay Aiken song.
I could have. Oh, you know what? That would be a good karaoke sleeper hit. That is not an enough list.
If I was invisible. Yeah.
Invisible. Yeah. Also, I almost read Super Clean Fits as Super Clean Tits. I'm glad I, have reading comprehension.
I'm glad you do too, but I love that about you.
Mine is usually super clean tits.
Super clean tits. Your super clean tits always walk by, and you might be homeless, but at least you got super clean tits.
The tits are clean. Squeaky
clean. Bussies.
You can rub them together, and they...
Oh,
I don't
my
know
God.
why. Please take me out of this misconnection. I'm going to read the next one.
Yeah,
okay?
go for it.
All right, cool. We used to chill after the gym. We used to work out a lot and then chill at my place after. Our chats were awesome, and we pushed each other to work out harder. Miss you, man. Hope you're doing well. And still getting swole, lol.
Wait, now you think this is gay.
I think anytime
It's a little homoerotic.
I think anytime a man has another conversation with a man at the gym, it's foreplay.
That's hot. That might be the hottest thing you've ever said, Talon.
You're welcome. Anytime you see two men in a gym who aren't related and who aren't like having some sort of trainer-trainee relationship and they're talking, the gym ain't for that.
Like any farther than a kissing cousins relationship, and they're on the verge of just ripping each other's gym shorts off.
And if you were to be watching that situation, say from across the street through the windows, and you see those two men who were talking to each other, walking into another room, I know exactly what they're doing in that other room.
They're going to Bussy de Beppo.
Yep.
It's an all-you-can-eat night at Bussy de Beppo.
That's a spicy meatball.
And they're feeling macho gracious. Yeah, we're bringing it all back, baby.
Wow. So many callbacks. I think this is like, did we, judges? Yeah. We hit most callbacks in a single misconnection.
Wow.
Full circle moment.
Full circle. Good job, everybody.
Or should I say whole circle? I shouldn't say it. Judges? No, I shouldn't say it. They're saying I shouldn't say it. I apologize for saying it. I apologize to our listening audience for saying whole circle. I thought I just misread the moment. I apologize. Anyway, miss you. Hope you're doing well and still getting swole.
That's so sweet.
Hey, Craigs. We got one more MC we want to give you. But first, thanks for joining us for another deep dive into the misconnection section. The theme song was written and performed by Rose Sherman. Follow her at Hey Shermy on Insta. And follow us at Craigexistential Crisis on Insta and TikTok for more fun. If you enjoyed our company, leave us a rating wherever you're listening. Or tell a friend about our services. Check the show notes for more info.
All right, Sarah, finish this off.
All right. Beastie.
I'm Talon Bigelow.
I'm Sarah Thompson.
And this has been Craigexistential Crisis. Do not contact us with any unsolicited services or offers. What else can you say, Beastie. What were they going for? What is going on? Some people are using this as a Google search or something. I don't know.